Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel Watercoloring with 3. So as you can see that I have kept this watercolor tree pair. So today we will be making watercolor tree with very easy steps, right? So let's jump right into it. First of all, let us see what we need to make. First of all, we need to make the sky that I have already created, and then we need to make the upper portion, then down this trunk, and then this, right? So let's start. I have created the sky with a very easy step, just wet on wet technique. What you need to do is you need to just wet your surface completely, the upper surface, wherever you want to create that. And after that I have just splitted turquoise color on it, and I just move the paper up and down, right? So let's start with making the tree. So first of all, you should have a guidelines of the shape which you are going to make your tree. So I have a guideline in this triangle shape, right? So let's start with this. I'll be using lemon yellow color to make the this light portion, right? So let's start with this. Let's jump right into it. So here you can see that. And one more thing that you need to keep in your mind is you need to leave the negative space between it, right? Some white portion, don't make it all over yellowish, right? Leave at some places, leave the negative spaces. This would be very helpful in next steps. So you can see the shape which is coming in this. After this, when you will be completed, when you will be done with your yellowish lemon yellow color, first of all, before starting with that, you need to decide from which area, from which direction the sunlight or whatever the source of light is there is coming, so that you can decide which area would be the darkest or which will be the darker and which would be the lightest, right? So you can see that I have taken plenty of water, that's why this is completely shiny, right? So we can start with that. Now I would be deciding, so the sunlight is coming up from this area, right? So this part would be the lightest, then this would be the darkest, this would be the darkest part, right? So I can start with that. First I will take a very very light shade of green, right? So you can see that it's very light green. So we can start with this, right? I would be doing it some of the places, not everywhere it. And you all can also see that I have left negative space between. I'll tell you what is the need of this. One of the main thing for this is that I need to give this lighter, so keep this in mind. So I was telling the benefit of the negative space. So whenever you make the negative space, it would be very helpful, because sometimes what happen when you have split too much water, it would be very helpful for you to squeeze out that water. And second one is, if you take too much of color and not leave the negative space, this would create your tree clumsy, very clumsy, and all the color will mix into each other, and you will not be able to separate the darkest part and the lightest part, right? Okay, then here we can create a like that. Right, you can see that I'm just keeping this area the lightest one. Then we can start with our darkest part. This would be the darkest one, as I told you, because this is the area of the tree where the light is falling the least, right? And one more thing that I want to tell you, in my all the videos I used to tell this. Never compare your painting with any painting. Like, oh, I have painted my first painting and now I am painting my another this one tree, so I should not compare both of this, that my previous one was looking very better but this one is not looking like that. Never compare your painting. And even sometimes when you try to make one painting from a reference photo, you should never compare that, because perfection doesn't matter. The thing matter is enjoyment, you how you are enjoying your painting. That is the one, that is the thing that matter. All of this, right? I'll be making it a bit of greenish, and I would leave a little bit of light part also, right? So I'm just doing this. Alright, so our upper area is almost done. Now we can start with our, if you wish you can make one more layer of dark green. I'm just showing you how you can. So I'm taking a very dark tone of green and just putting it at the downer part. You can see the darkest one, and I would not be keeping this darker one in the downer portion only. No, not at all. I would put this dark one at some places, right? And at some here also it needed, because the sidelines are more darker than the middle and all. What? So you can see this all. And if you don't want to create that darker layer that I have created, you can just start with the next step to making the trunk of the tree. But I thought to make that because it gives a more good look to my tree. That's why I have done this. So this is very easy way to make the upper part of your tree. Okay, this is one of the easiest way. You can see that this third layer that I have created, the darkest one, I have not created that in this one, right? So it's your wish if you want. Okay, so trunk is also very simple. First you need to take a raw umber. I would be using raw umber here. Then I would use burnt sienna to make a darker tone also. So one more thing that you need to keep in your mind while making the trunk of your tree, don't make it too thick that it will look like the tree is too thin and the trunk is too thick, because this was one of the mistakes that I used to do when I was a beginner, or I have just started to paint this. So just go right up into it, and I can see that I will be making the line, so I'm just leaving it like here only. Then I will be using burnt sienna color. This is very pretty color. Then I would do it at the at the side portion. You can see that this is darker as compared to this side because light is coming from here. So I will be just doing this at this side, right? I won't be doing it another side again. You can see. So you can see that I have created the ground also and the trunk also. It's almost done. So you can also see that I have created a zigzag grasses all over it. It's not necessary to create these grasses. If you want, you just create it, otherwise leave it out. So now you can see this tree that I have created. It's very beautiful, and comparatively to this, it's a little bit different. Oh, something is different. Oh, I noticed that these small branches are still left, so I'll be using again burnt sienna, and I would make these branches in between this negative space. So now we can see that I have created those tiny branches as well, and now comparatively to this one is looking more pretty, right? So if you have not noticed these branches today itself, observe a big tree, large tree, and observe, is this branches visible to you? You must see that these are visible to you, right? So bye bye guys, I'll meet you again in my next video. Thank you for watching this video.